We are very happy and privileged to welcome YLTSl, showcasing Final Audition.
Junkyard dogs, how we doing? So this is Final Audition. I guess the stream doesn't see it yet, but all of you in the audience get to see it first. I have 17 slides, so I got to run through this. Yeah, so this is me. My real name is Ben. I'm presenting under YLTSl. I've done like a DistrictCon Sky Talk before, but I got like kind of shamed off the stage, so this is kind of my unretirement. It stands for You Love to See It, so I hope you love to see it. If you want to chat a little bit about some of the stuff I'm hacking on after, you can email this email, and I'd be glad to talk. Okay, so what? There's a lot of smart heads in this room, but not necessarily a lot of cultured heads. How many of you thought this was a DDR machine? Raise your hands. No shame. It's okay. Okay, cool. The makers of DDR actually sued Andamiro, which is the manufacturer of Pump It Up. They came out 1 year later, and I'm going to show you guys Pump It Up 20th Anniversary Edition. It's a dance simulator, so like you're supposed to kind of play using your feet, and as the arrows go up the screen, you're supposed to hit them with good timing, hopefully. It's kind of like Dance Dance Revolution. DDR has like compass arrows, but these are by diagonals in the center. I think it's really obvious what category I'm going for, judges. I hope you don't take it personally. The bug is a little bit lame, but it does crash something, so I'm happy about that. Okay, quick rundown on hardware. One day I skipped work. I found out that there was a cab being sold in northern Michigan, and I bought the one that's circled in red, CX. There's a bunch of different shapes. Some of them are straight up DDR knockoffs. Some of them are a little bit more unique. When I bought the most recent, currently manufactured version of the game called Phoenix, this is the specs that came on the box. The box also comes with a JAMA, which is sort of like a industry standard for connecting to arcade PCBs, as well as a thing called an I/O. Well, you know what an I/O is, but Alex I/O is the most recent module, and that pulls at like a ridiculous amount compared to the old one, which is only like 40 hertz, so you can only press 40 times. So when I had this box, I tried to run XX. As it turns out, there's a forever bug based on the Linux version that the bootloader runs, and it's for this chipset, it's completely bugged. So I had to go on eBay, buy this nice little board for 36 bucks. The motherboard is from like 2009. Oh my god. On top of that, the graphics card came to me dead on arrival. Way to go, Andamiro. Woo! Good thing is I had a 620, and I just swapped it in, and it worked like magic. As you can see, XX is incredibly expensive. That's the price on release, so about $2,300. On the aftermarket, since it's end of life, you can find a copy with a dongle for about 600 bucks. So still sucks, but this indicator right here, that's behind the coin door. That's like the service panel. That's how many quarters were entered into the arcade machine for the duration of its life on the arcade room floor. That's a fair amount of money. It's like 75 cents a play. Okay, a bit more on the hardware. There's the drive, there's the dongle. They only just now started shipping on SSDs because they were cost cutting. So they're all on like platter drives. It's ridiculous. There's a Linux image that's really light. It only has Ethernet drivers, no Wi-Fi at all. So you have to use like a travel router to connect it to the network. Really limited range of NVIDIA drivers, which is why I had some issues trying to find like a graphics card that wasn't DOA. If you do not have the correct dongle for the serial number that's loaded on the drive, you just won't get a boot. But that's what the bootloader looks like. Again, it's super light Linux, and then it finally launches the game after the challenge response succeeds. Short aside, I had to borrow someone's XX drive because mine was busted. One cool feature is if you email Andamiro and you're an arcade, you can tell them an arcade name to flash over the air to your drive. So if I was to factory reset that, that's gone forever. But I got really curious, and I figured out where this drive came from when my friend bought his cabinet. And it came from this, I guess, liquidated arcade in Tianjin, China. So kind of hype. And as you can see on the indicator, everything's in Chinese language. You can't change to English. Song names are still in English, so that's good at least. Okay, a bit about the software. It's a completely custom engine. There were some non-Korean spin-offs that used Stepmania 4, but as far as the Korean mainlines, it's all just a custom engine. The timing is interesting. It's like biased late, but the windows are huge compared to DDR. So unless you do a thing called pattern manipulation where you just like stomp on stuff and you still get like greats and goods and perfects, it's nice. You can track your progress. So up until Phoenix, which is the most recent version, you can plug in a USB and it will just write to the USB your profile and all your clears and all that stuff. Around Prime 2, which is about, goodness, 8 years ago, They introduced like an AM pass profile, and it's just a Type 5 NFC tag. I don't have the readers with me, but if you just tag it, it'll load up everything about your profile. It has a bunch of good features. Online match, so you can match with anyone across the world and just play like one song and see who does better. Machine best, which leaves your best score on the machine and other people can try to take it. Random train, it's like a stamina test. It's 4 songs within a certain level range from singles to doubles. And the point is to clear all 4. UCS, user custom step, which is kind of my specialty, I guess, research field. Okay, I have a shit ton of bugs for this game, a shit ton. But I do all this bug bounty. They don't have a bug bounty program in Edinburgh, so I do this all pro gratis because I love the game so much, and I live in a community that loves the game a lot too. So UCS, user custom step, any game that's licensed to have a user custom step assigned, you can upload like a file that's specific to give you the chart. And it's like a weird file format, so you can imagine what you can do with it. I'm not exhibiting any of those here, no. Mission mode, modifiers, all this stuff. This game is jam-packed. When it's not end of life, you get free content patches, so different songs, different charts. On top of that, there's a free matchmaking network for online match. It's really good. Konami will charge you a monthly fee to do that. So I'm gonna just play my warm-up song. Judges, does anyone want to volunteer just to play a song through? I can give you a crash course. It'll be really fun. You're not gonna embarrass yourself. Okay, if someone volunteers, I'll donate 10% of any prize money that I get straight to the EFF. No questions asked.
All right, well, yeah.
Wait, really? Let's go! All right, I need better clothing, and I need to put my shoes on for this, so give me a sec. I'll give you my tutorial so this one speaks in Chinese. I gotta unlock the third mode. This is basic mode. It's like you're tiny.
Just a few settings here.
I'm gonna give you a little bit of speed. I'm gonna make the background dark so it's like okay. So I picked up a song that's I'm really tired from walking around it. Wait, what's happening? Don't step on me. You can tell I play this a little fun.
Props to Casey for being brave, volunteering.
And then one more time. That's my warm-up, by the way.
I don't know if everybody can see this from the back, but I can vouch that this is a lot easier than the song that he played when we set it up. A lot easier. All right, now I've got a little harder. Nice. YLTSl. Nice. Well done, Casey. Yes.
Alright, we're gonna go to the operator menu. Really interesting.
You got 8 minutes.
Oh fuck. Okay, let's talk about the. I got a CB for this. It's not populated yet. Let's talk about the CWE that this maps to. So CWE 1419. Fuck. The product attempts to initialize a resource but does not correctly do so, which might leave the resource in unexpected blah 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 state when it's accessed. It's a little vague, right? But there's one that's slightly more applicable in a way, CWE 909, because it mentions crashes as like a availability implication. But this one's a little bit more concrete, and I'll say why in a second. Yeah, so this game's end of life. Means no online service. Doesn't mean that I can work on my specialty UCS and get a cool bug for this con. There's no private server. I'm way too lazy to build one. So what else can we poke at? In the operator menu here, you can only access it via the coin door. Oh, thank you. Oh my god. Right, the restriction menu. If you have like a arcade that isn't only 18 plus, and there's like a weird song with a weird background animation, you can just eliminate it. So I thought about this, and by the way, end of life, December 2023, so not terribly long ago. I had an idea. Does it interact at all with the initialization of random train? So yeah, random train, like I said, it's like a stamina test. You can play singles, doubles. It goes through all these difficulty ranges. Pick 4 songs, play them back to back. All you get as a break is loading screens. So thinking about this and the way that it initializes when you boot up, what happens if too many songs are restricted, right? Probably some weird behavior. I started with disabling everything initially, and you get a really reasonable error. No song selectable. I was like, cool, this is dope. Go with induction, unselect one song from being restricted. It still says that. I'm like, what? So at that point, it kind of becomes a constraint satisfaction problem. I'll tell you about it in a bit. There's these 2 buttons that are really wiggly and do not register well. So I'm going to fiddle with it a bit. You can watch on the screen. Man, fuck this microphone. We're going to deselect everything in JMusic. It's going to give us like it's going to like satisfy the constraint satisfaction problem to actually trigger this bug. Because now there's going to be at least 1 slot in the difficulties that doesn't have 4 songs to initialize with. And this is just a song that I played as a demo. K-pop is still there. There's like 46 songs, right? Okay. So as soon as I boot in, it'll load really briefly, and then it'll crash straight back to the BIOS. Check this out. Yeah! Yeah! And I'll play it one more time, but I'll talk about this a little. It's like really insidious, this DOS, because you straight up can't play the game. It's terrible. Or maybe it's not terrible, who knows? Okay, so let's talk about impact. It's DOS for a whole ass cabinet in usually commercial arcade, persistently without an obvious fix. Does require physical access. Ooh, I know, boring. You can still pick the coin door. It's like a 1 or 2 pin lock. You can rake it in like 10 seconds. Press the buttons while nobody's looking. If you do this, it's kind of like corporate vandalism. Like an arcade is a business and you need to pull money in the door at the end of the day. You can resolve this by factory resetting, but it gets rid of a lot of stuff like bookkeeping, statistics, the vendor name assignment that I mentioned earlier. 5 minutes, thank you. And that's not exactly a suitable resolution for all arcade operators. And obviously, like I mentioned, an arcade earns $0 or maybe even less because it still takes power draw for an inoperable cabinet. And you'll crash before you see any symptoms. Is it still fucking loading? Oh no. Oh, it's trying to connect to the server. Let's chill. I'll throw it again. Again, if you deselect everything that's been restricted. It'll go back to being normal. Yeah. Okay, that's enough of that. Let's talk about vendor resolution. Again, I've worked with Endemiro kind of pro gratis. I tried to make the game as good as possible for other people like me in the community. I initially reported this like early January of last year. It was kind of like a curio in a way, but then I thought about it and I was like, this might be good for Junkyard. So I re-reported it like right around when Junkyard came out. And it was a lot of fighting back and forth. They're like, if you want to play the game correctly, do not use restriction. I'm like, okay. But crashing the game is like not acceptable. And eventually they budged. They did decide to resolve it like December, just shortly before Christmas. But for an end-of-life product, what does that even look like? I'm pretty sure it's a forever bug. I'm still backtesting this. Definitely impacts versions back to Prime. It could go back as far as Fiesta 2010, so the bug might be like 15 years old. Not verified, and obviously I threw it on XX, so judges do with that as you wish. It's been assigned the record 2024-57375. Has yet to be populated because I'm still backtesting. If I get some updates, I'll write up the public disclosure on the website. Thank you, everyone. Special shout outs to DistrictCon team. Mike Bell did everything for me.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Winona, thank you. Aaron, thank you. Ryan, thank you so much. Thank you to Penske Truck Rental. They brought me down from Michigan and down from Maryland to get here. Thank you to Summit E-Waste Recycling Solutions. Don't throw away your computing. Thanks to Spencer Kelly's Crowd Squad. They've helped me with this cabinet as soon as I brought it in from Michigan. Thanks to Nikki and Anthony, who actually came to DC with me. And thanks to my dad for getting me the conduit, which if I didn't have it, this couldn't have happened. So, time?
You're good. All right. Thank you, YLTSl.
Questions and answers? One question, if anyone has a question. Okay.
All right, round of applause. Thank you very much. Up next, we're going to have Dylan, Ryan, and Danielle. All right, so how was that really? Thank you. Judges, is that the, have you seen a larger cabinet exploited, or like what? How does that sit with you?
It's okay. It'll survive. It's fine. It's got no legs.
This is definitely the first time I've been brought into a POC like that, or even seen that for that matter.
Right, right.
7 is not easy.
That is the first time I've seen someone get brought into a dance floor during an exploit demonstration.
I was slightly hoping the exploit would be from him dancing on it, though.
We can't have it all. I mean, but I was also interested to see that, like in that huge cabinet, at the end of the day, it was an Intel Celeron. It's just a little computer, right? Like. And so this next crew, we've got 3 folks up here, and they're going to be demonstrating 2 different targets. And as we're going along, we're having the judges, they're tallying their votes. At the end, we're going to bring everybody back together. We're going to count the votes and announce the winners. But I got to say that, to me, that's the heart of it right there. That's what we're looking for in terms of people just having fun with this. And I got to say, I'm really appreciative that we had that demonstration.
Yeah, having fun. I loved what he was saying about, like, they don't have a bug bounty program, there's the or whatever, but like he's doing it because he loves phone research, he loves the game, and he actually wants to help improve the product. and it's just hilarious to be able to talk about that shit as well. So it's it's the whole package, which is cool.
Yeah, and we did get to see some of those exchanges with vendors where the researchers would report to us, hey, yep, this is the proof. We had the discussion with the vendors, and as YLTSl brought up, sometimes the vendors are just like, why would you do that? It's not supposed to work like that.
Why would you do that to my stuff? Like, just dance, man.
You guys ready?